Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and we are going to be doing our first Core Set 2020 draft for the channel. I've drafted just a few times, so I'm still in that stage where I'm forming opinions about the archetypes and trying out different cards. I don't have a lot of experience. I will say that I think red and white are bottom tier as far as the colors go, and then green, blue, and black, the Sultai colors, seem like they're really good, with blue being probably the best. We'll talk about the cards as we go throughout the draft, so we'll save that for just a minute. Make sure if you like this content that you subscribe below, give it a like. If you feel like having a conversation, you can either leave a comment below, or you can find us on Twitter at MTG_ManaRocks. And thanks for joining me. I do want to mention real quick that somebody, I forget who the username was. I meant to write it down, but they're like, please click this or something. In case you don't know, the reason I leave that up there is because it shows your vault progress. It's at 170%, and there's no way to check in-game your vault progress unless you already have a vault to open. So that's why I don't open the first one. That, and it only gives you wild cards. It's not like you're getting anything super exciting. If it gave me a free draft or something, I'd probably just open it. But it's just a way to check my vault progress percentage by leaving it up there. As soon as I click this, if I don't have over 200%, it's going to go away, and I'll have to just kind of wait and feel out when my next vault is. But enough of that. That's not really important. You came here to see a draft. Let's go ahead and draft. And again, this is really early on in the format, so I'm probably going to talk a little bit about the cards, definitely more than I normally would. So let's see what we're getting into here. Our rare, I think this is a really interesting card. It's a 2-mana 2/3. It makes your creatures cost 1 less to cast, and then when your creatures enter the battlefield, this thing deals 2 damage to them, and if they're dinosaurs, this thing gets +2/+0. There's like 1 common dinosaur and then 2 rares or something like that, so I'm not really expecting this to get a lot bigger, but it does make your creatures cheaper. The thing is, you have to draft creatures that don't die to this, so you can't play like Ferocious Pup and this in the same deck, because this will just kill your Ferocious Pup and your tokens. But then you've got things like Lavakin Brawler and Mammoth Spider, these big green-red creatures that can survive this and come down a turn cheaper if you have this on board. I don't think you're supposed to pick this up early. I think you're supposed to see what the complexion of your deck looks like first, and then if you see this a little later in the pack and it doesn't kill most of your creatures, you can try it out. I think what I'm going to take is Chandra Novice Pyromancer. The +1 ability is actually really strong if you end up in an Elementals deck, and even when you're not actively drafting Elementals, it seems like you just end up with a bunch of Elementals in a deck. I did say red was one of the weaker colors, but we've got some of the better red cards here with Novice Pyromancer, Lavakin Brawler, and I think Flame Sweep is pretty good, again, if it doesn't kill a lot of your own creatures. But back to Chandra, the main appeal here is the -2, which just shocks a creature, and then she has enough loyalty that you can -2 twice and still have her on board, and I think that's pretty good. Not really anything else I'm even considering first picking out of this pack, so we'll go and take the Pyromancer and see where that leaves us. Well, here's Risen Reef. A couple cards to talk about in this pack. Risen Reef is just absolutely absurd card. If you haven't played with it yet, it's 3 mana in Simic colors. It's a 1/1. When it or another elemental enters the battlefield, you get to draw the top card of your library, and if it's a land, you get to put it into play. And that's every time an elemental enters the battlefield. This card just feels completely busted. I think the most like offensive part of this card is that if you don't draw a land, you don't have to reveal the card to your opponent, and your opponent basically has to kill this if you have a deck with elementals. It's a little off color with Chandra, but there's Mana Fixin' in this set, and also Temur is the elemental color, so there's a little bit of overlap here, even if the colors don't overlap. The other cards I want to mention here are the Mana Dork, which is really good. It survives Shock, survives Disfigure, survives Chandra, and just accelerates you while also being an elemental. And then there's Overcome, which in the dorky green-black decks or green-white decks, I actually found this to be a decent win con. A lot better this time around than it was in Hour of Devastation. We're going to take Risen Reef. This might be one of the best uncommons in the entire set, and I'm not exaggerating that. This card is just really, really good. So following that up, we have no real red cards or green cards that we're considering. In fact, this pack is all black and white for some reason. Scorch Spitter I don't think is very good. You have to be extremely dedicated to elementals before this becomes a real card. If I had like a bunch of these and Perfect Mana or something like that, that'd be one thing. But this card just trades down. Like, I mean, your opponent can just block it with a 2/2, and this can't even attack. And then there's Wolfkin Bond, which is just okay. This would be a filler card at best. Blood-Soaked Altar is the highest variance card in the pack and probably the best one. If you can get Sacrifice Fodder or Active Treasons or stuff like that, then this card can actually go off. The other option is Warden of Evos Isle, which is a Windrake that make your flyers cost less mana. Probably just going to take Warden. I really do want to play Risen Reef if I can. The Blood-Soaked Altar is a consideration here if I end up in some sort of black-red deck, or I don't know, maybe my mana fixing works out that I can play Sultai or something like that. Warden, if you don't end up with a bunch of flyers, is a pretty replaceable card. But I don't know. Maybe I should just stay open and take the Blood-Soaked Altar. There are a lot of black cards in this pack, but they're all, like, these three are all pretty bad, and then Blood Burglar is not that great. Let's just take the Warden since we have this Risen Reef already. Okay, moving into the next pack, couple cards I like here. I'm probably going to take Scamper and Scorcher. This is 4 mana for 3 1/1 elementals, and those elementals gain haste. Really nice combo with Chandra, since it can make them all 3/1s, and awesome combo with Risen Reef, since that's 3 elementals entering the battlefield. You get 3 Risen Reef triggers. You just straight up draw 3 cards. Kind of feels busted. There is Brightwood Tracker, which I think is a fine card, but hasn't actually made my main board. I've never activated this ability yet. There's Mammoth Spider, which is just a good main deckable green creature. Zephyr Charge, I think people are very best case mentality about this card. They imagine it in decks where they're going to always be attacking. I just don't like Zephyr Charge unless you end up with a billion plummets or something like that, and we're not taking Zephyr Charge. Let's go ahead and take the Scamper here. Take the Elemental. Following that off, we have a couple black cards again. We have Goblin Smuggler, which if we can pick up a Lavakin Brawler is actually really strong. It's okay with our other cards. It does work with them all, but I think it's a fine late game way to push in damage. There's Vorse Claw, which I think stacks up very, very poorly in this format against just the removal like Unsummon and Murder at common, Pacifism, and Sleep Paralysis. It's really easy to trade down on mana when you play a Vorse Claw, and on top of that, there's a bunch of Death Touchers and dorky, dirtily cards that can just chump block this. Things like Raise the Alarm, Sanitarium Skeleton. So I'm not a huge fan of Vorse Claw. I might play one in my deck, but red-blue seems to be where we're moving here, so I'm just going to take the Goblin Smuggler. And follow that up with, we'll take Thicket Crasher. I don't really want to go full-on Teamer colors. I don't have an Evolving Wilds or any mana fixing yet, but we can prioritize that in other packs. This is just another Elemental. Like I've said, good with all my other cards. And this one's decent. 4/3 Trample that gives your other Elementals Trample. I've tried out Manifold Key. I've been a little bit unimpressed with it, but I like it as a sideboard card because there are like green-black decks that just sit and stall out when the flyers don't get the job done. So just wanted to mention that one. Unchained Berserker. This is the pro-white guy that's a 3/1 while it's attacking. Another Thicket Crasher. Lavakin Brawler, I think, is what we're looking for. And then Pattern Matcher, I think, is actually a solid card. If you have multiples of basically 2 different creatures in your deck, I would play Pattern Matcher, since it just essentially draws you a creature whenever it enters the battlefield if you have multiples of your cards. I am going to take Lavakin Brawler. I've been told this card's really good. I haven't actually played with it myself yet, but it seems quite strong, and we do have the Goblin Smuggler to go with it. Here, a lot of cards I like. There's Overcome, which again is a nice way to push in a bunch of damage, especially if you can go wide with things like the Scamper. There's another Brawler, and there's another Crasher. I think Crasher is... Oh, there's also Veil of Summer, which is a very good sideboard card against specifically blue-black. I think Crasher is the least likely for me to want here. Excuse that. I think I'm going to take Overcome. I've actually got quite a... I think I have all creatures except for Chandra right now, so I can afford a spell. As much as I want this Brawler, I think having Overcome as a win con seems nice. Wow, another Brawler, a Healer, an Evolving Wilds, a Mammoth Spider. So this is pretty easily Evolving Wilds or Lavakin Brawler. Healer of the Grade would be a reasonable sideboard card, but this card's pretty low impact. It's just if you have Risen Reef or Chandra or something, it becomes a little bit better. I don't know. I think I can cut Warden of Evos Isle and then find some Mana Fixin for Risen Reef. I'm just going to take Brawler, I think. Go really heavy on the elementals here. I'm not interested in playing any of these cards. I guess the Giant Growth could make the deck. Sure, Scorch Spitter. We do want a lot of elementals. Take Reckless Airstrike as a sideboard card. If this were an instant, it'd be very main deckable, but it is not. Take some cards, more Reckless Airstrikes, and we got a last pick elemental. So moving into the next pack, we have a Scryland as our rare. Not really trying to take that. And we have 3 pretty good options. We have another Novice Pyromancer, we have a Frostlings, and we have a Chandra's Outrage. There's also Gift of Paradise. Jeez. Also Unsummon. I don't think I'm taking Season of Growth here. You need a lot of ways to target your own creatures before that becomes a card I'm considering. This pack also has a Pacifism and a Temple in it, so pretty good pack for elementals overall. Chandra's Outrage sticks out, but does add another 4-drop to the deck. Frostlings is a little bit off color. This is what it looks like we're playing red, green, splash, and blue for Risen Reef. I would love the Gift of Paradise here. Chandra, again, I think is the best card in the pack. Chandra's Outrage deals with quite a few creatures, so I think I'm going to take the Outrage over the other Pyromancer, which might just be incorrect. Ooh, we've got a Vivian. Vivian is fantastic. We're just going to take this. It's another 4-drop, so we're really going to have to find some 2s or some reasonable 1s here, because we have 2 really low impact 1-drops, and then we get started at 3 mana, which is not necessarily good. Like Ember Hauler would be pretty fantastic here, but I'm not going to pass Vivian for Ember Hauler. Just nice combination of abilities. Masterful Replication is a card I actually like quite a bit. This pack's pretty good as well. There's Mask of Immolation, which creates an elemental, and then you can sack that elemental to deal a damage. You can also equip this to other creatures and kind of throw around sacrifice fodder. I don't think I'm going to take the 3rd Brawler because I have cheaper options here. Gift of Paradise and Rugged Highlands are both picks as well, and then there's the Silverback Shaman. If I'm taking Mana Fixin, I kind of want my Mana Fixin to help me with blue mana, and this lets me add another island to my deck, but the Gift of Paradise actually ramps us a little bit. Helps with these double color cards, and still splashes for blue. So I'm not entirely sure what the pick is here. I could also see a case for Masterful Replication and Flame Sweep. Also Silverback Shaman in this pack. This pack is just loaded. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. We're going to wheel something. Excuse me. It might just be the Brawler. Probably not the Highlands, but I think I'm going to take Gift of Paradise here. Okay, we got another shot at a Mask of Immolation. We have a Netcaster Spider, and we have a Silverback Shaman. Shaman is a pretty good card. I'm still not sure if Mask of Immolation's good or not in this format. I haven't actually played with or against it yet, so I'm not sure. The big appeal of it is that it makes an elemental when it enters the battlefield. I could see Netcaster Spider just as a way to hold down the fort and stabilize against a bunch of 2/2s or something like that. But I'm going to try out the Mask. Like I said, we're still in kind of the early phases of this format where I want to get a feel for some of the cards, and I haven't played with or against this yet, so it seems like a good time to try it out. I think Flame Sweep kills too many of my own creatures that I'm not supposed to be playing that, and again, I'm not looking to play these 1/1s. I could take a Lightning Stormkin here, but it is the off-color blue. Frostlings is also off-color, and I don't want another 4-drop at the moment, so I do think I'm going to take the Stormkin. Ooh, another Ember Hauler, but geez, another Scampering Scorcher. That's a tough one. This is exactly what my deck wants, but Ember Hauler is just such a good 2-drop. It is double red, and we're going to be playing 3 colors probably, so that's a little bit awkward. I'm going to take the Scorcher. We're going to be 4-drop deck. Here we go. Okay, Woodland Champion is perfect. A, it fits the 2-drop slot, and B, it gets a counter whenever an elemental enters the battlefield, and we have double Scorcher right now, which is pretty strong. I don't think we have anything else. I guess Mask of Immolation triggers it, and I'm pretty sure that's it. But the double Scorcher seems really good with this card, and it's just a 2-drop, which we want anyway. Frostlings, I think, is going to be my pick over the Digger. I don't really love the Digger here. This is just a late game way to kind of keep yourself in against grindy decks. We have 3 blue cards right now, probably 4 blue cards, and we do not have any Mana Fixin outside of the Gift of Paradise, so we're going to have to take that very highly. I'll go ahead and take a 2-drop that I'm not probably going to play here. We did Rugged Highlands. I'm going to go ahead and take that over the Brawler or the Frostlings here. Again, having a card like this does mean that you can include another like island in your deck instead of the forest or mountain that you would put in. Go ahead and take Fire Elemental. A little bit more playable here. I think the cards I'm most looking for in this next pack are A, Mana Fixers, and B, the 2-drop that ramps us. Double Fairy Miscreant. I don't love Fairy Miscreant, but it's fine. Here, pack 3, we have Elvish Reclaimer, +2/+2. As long as there are 3 or more lands in your graveyard, you can pay 2 and tap it to sack a land and search your library for a land. So this is mana fixin'. You can use it on turn 2. I think it can fetch any land too, right? Yeah, so we could fetch like a Rugged Highlands or something. There's also Cloudkin Seer and the Leafkin Druid, which are both cards that I want. I think the Seer I should not be taken on account of not wanting to play a lot of blue mana. I'm probably not even going to play all of this blue. I might leave it to just like Stormkin and Risen Reef. This is a tough pick because we really want this Leafkin Druid, right? It just ramps us so well into these 4-drops. Sometimes it double ramps us. It helps with these double green cards, triple green even that we have. But the Reclaimer seems like it could be a good long game card. I think I'm just going to take the safe pick here with the Druid because that's always going to be good, and it is an elemental. Following that up, we have Shock. We have Leyline of Abundance. I think it's worth talking about this card. I think all of the Leylines are unplayable. The red one seems like a good sideboard card, but this is just not a card you should be including in your deck. Another Woodland Champion, and Blue-Black Fixer. I'm going to take Shock here. It kind of does what we want early game interaction to do, and that is interact with early creatures. We've got decent to good late game, and as much as I like the champion, I think just having good old Shock is nice. Regulator is unplayable. There's a Plummet, a Healer, and not much else that we even care about. I'm going to take Plummet, and I am going to main deck Plummet. I think that's perfectly defensible in this format. Netcaster Spider here. There's Ether Gust. Frostlings is out the wazoo. And then some other cards we can't play. Nice little Pacifism here. Vampire of the Dire Moon and Ether Gust are both cards I would take pretty highly in those colors, but Netcaster is just a nice stabilizing card. We have here a Scuttlemutt. Scuttlemutt can help us splash and ramps a little bit, even though we do curve out at 5. We don't have a lot of expensive cards. There's the most eroded card of all time. This used to be a lizard, was an uncommon. It had Menace written out before Menace was a thing. Ferocious Pup, not exactly where we want to be. I think Pup's really good in green-white, where the go-wide payoffs are, things like Inspiring Captain, and then it's also really good in red-black, where you get things like Bone Splinters and Sacrifice Outlets. I'm going to take Scuttlemutt here. Ooh, Ember Holler and off-color Mana Fixin'. Yeah, let's just take Ember Holler here. It seems pretty good. Again, double red. We can't reliably have that, but if you think about this as a 3-mana Shock, then that's fine too. Nothing I'm going to play here. I'll take an uncommon for the Vault. Not going to play a Convolute off of a splash. Scorch Spitter or Vorse Claw. A single Vorse Claw doesn't seem that bad, even though I don't think the card adds up very well in this format, but having a good top-end kind of beater seems fine. Diamond Knights, could take it or leave it. Anvilrot Raptor is a card that I like to hate, but it actually stacks up pretty well against a lot of the flyers. They tend to be X1s and X2s, and they just can't attack into this card. I don't think I want it for my deck. There's Greenwood Sentinel, which is super blah. There's the Pup, and there's the Diamond Knight. Try out the Diamond Knight. I haven't tried it yet. It doesn't seem super impressive. Greenwood Sentinel is just whatever. Take a Raptor for the board. Sure, healers. We're probably not going to play these 1-drops, though. Maniacal Rage, Stone Golem, and more healers. And a Rift. Okay, so we have an elemental deck here. Just do initial cuts. Go through. Bird Grabber can come out. I don't mind the growth cycle if we end up with enough creatures. And as far as Mana Fixin' goes, that is a lot of islands. We'll take another look at that in a little bit, but let's get our main deck down. Let's go ahead and cut at least a Frostlings. I don't know if Lightning Stormkin's really worth splashing for, since it is a 2-drop, but try it out. Risen Reef is definitely worth splashing for. Diamond Knight seems a little bit all over the place. mean, it could be okay, but I don't think it's that good. Especially if you're on the draw, you just play a 3-mana 1/1, they're just going to slam into you. Fire Elemental, I could take or leave, but I like having a late game creature here. Tons of 4s, though, so maybe I should cut some big dorky creature here. I like all of these 4s. I like these two. I go and pitch Fire Elemental over Force Claw, I think. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Lavakin Brawler is often just going to be what Fire Elemental is on offense, maybe not on defense, but it doesn't matter too much. And then I guess I could cut the other Frostlings, just keep our blue to a minimum. Scuttlemutt's probably not as necessary if I'm only running 2 blue cards and I have 2 ways of splashing. I guess I only have 1 way to splash, right? I have the Gift of Paradise, and then I have straight up islands. I would have loved an Evolving Wilds, but I think the picks we took over them were probably better. So this is going to be our deck, I think. 1 island, 1 Scuttlemutt. Should probably go up 1 more island here. No, I have Gift of Paradise, so 3 blue sources, 2 blue cards. It's probably incorrect to play Lightning Stormkin, but I think it's going to be fine. And this is probably going to be our deck, so 8 red sources, 9 green sources. Do I want more red than green? Seems about even. I think I want to just be able to cast these cards basically all the time, so I'm going to keep them. And I think we've got a solid little deck. It's got some synergy to it. It's not like super powerful, but I do like it, and it seems like it's got a nice curve out potential. So we're going to go ahead and run this Temur Elemental deck. And hopefully you enjoyed the draft. If you did, again, you can let me know in the comments below what picks you would have taken, where you would have ended up in this draft. And yeah, let's talk about it. Find us on Twitter, MTG_ManaRocks. And with that being said, let's get into match 1. Alright, here we are for match 1. We're against Twisty Rob with an okay hand. I would love to be on the play with this hand, but it has all our colors. It has a 3-drop, a 4-drop, and then basically a removal spell with Vivian if we can work out that way. This Scorch Spitter is going to get in a lot of damage, but I'm not too worried about it. And we did draw a decent 2-drop, which can just block it. I don't mind if they use their removal on our early game creatures. We really just want to stick Brawler and then Vivian. Vivian is fantastic. Uh-oh, slow down, slow down. Alright, let's go ahead and drop our 2-drop here. And pass. Looks like we're up against another Elemental deck. They did mulligan to 6. If they attack, I'm definitely blocking. They can use whatever trick they have here. They're infuriate. Oh man, we've got a little bit of some slow action going on here. Oh, Feral Invocation was actually pretty bad. Should have thought about that one, but that's what you get for not knowing the format too well. Let's go and run a Forest, play Scuttlemutt, and pass. So we are going to take a lot more damage off this Scorch Spitter. We got by a Feral Invocation. Healer of the Glade, fine by me. Their life total doesn't matter too much yet. Another healer. Well, these things don't threaten me too much, so once I clear this Scorch Spitter, I'll be looking fine. Risen Reef, huh? So I'm going to play Lavakin Brawler this turn, and then hopefully next turn be able to attack with the Brawler, and then play Vivian to kill that Scorch Spitter. Also, I can now block. I could even double block here, but oh, they've got a removal spell? Youch. Our opponent's draw's been pretty good, minus these healers. So we're going to have to find an alternative to killing this Scorch Spitter now. Might even have to like double block it. It's getting in 4 a turn. Youch. Netcaster Spider, huh? Well, let's go Risen Reef Netcaster Spider, I think. I could also play Vivian and make this a 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually very close to just dying. And I have to tap Scuttlemutt here. Alright, I'm going to go Risen Reef plus Netcaster Spider and hope to double block this Spitter. Alright, you're up, opponent. If they have another removal spell, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Lavakin Brawler's pretty gross, too. Yeah, let's go ahead and take the double block here. They're going to maybe just kill off Risen Reef. So it looks like our opponent's all in on like the brawlers and playing a bunch of the little ones. Oh, they did not kill the Risen Reef. With that being said, it doesn't matter too much. This is going to attack as at least a 5/4. And I can't kill it with Vivian. But I can grow my things and trade them both off. I guess what I can do is just put 2 counters on Scuttlemutt and hope they don't have interaction. Yeah. Alright, you're up, opponent. Another brawler. Okay, well, they're not making this easy. I'm going to have to trade Scuttlemutt here for the first brawler, I think. And then I think I need to draw something. They're attacking me as well. So I could actually chump. And then I can minus Vivian to kill off the other brawler and then still have this as a block the turn after. That seems better because that gives me a way to deal with both brawlers rather than hoping to top deck something right now. But it would be helpful to top deck something because I'm going to have to trade and lose to these 2 things here. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I'm just going to lose to the stupid Healer of the Glades. Wow, the Feral Invocation got me extremely good here. And I need to top deck a creature, or Chandra's Outrage or something. Our Chandra Novice Pyromancer would be really good. So this is going to be 4, 5, 6. I kind of want to just eat a healer here. No, but then I'm just dead next turn. So yeah, I have to trade here and hope I draw basically any creature. Opponent also is not caring about Vivian at all. Alright, top deck. Alright, I have 1 more turn to draw something. Unfortunately, the Flood is very real. We get 1 turn here. Oh, they're going to kill Vivian. Sure, that's fine. So that actually gives me 2 more turns. Of course. Of course. I knew that was going to happen. That's the risk of running Overcome. I think I might actually board in my healer. Oh, and they drew a pump spell? Sure. Okay, well, they got us... The Feral Invocation basically won that game. So I'll have to watch out for that. That's a little bit embarrassing to go out that way, but not much I can do. I actually think our Healer of the Glades might be good. They block their healers, and they also block a Scorch Spitter. I guess I could cut, like, Lightning Stormkin here. Our opponents showed us nothing really threatening outside of just the 5/4, or the Lavakin Brawlers. So I'm not super threatened by any of that. Yeah, I don't think I want to do anything else there. Mask of Immolation does not seem like it's going to be great here. I don't know that they have creatures that are going to actually die to this. I mean, the Spitter, sure. Maybe I just don't need this Healer of the Glade. Probably don't need, like, a Vorse Claw, but it is pretty strong against them. Okay, let's just not with the healer, I suppose, and then run it back. Game 2 coming up. Alright, we're on the play here. I think I'm actually going to mulligan this. It's just 6 mana sources and a shock. It doesn't deal with a brawler. This is a lot better. Probably, what am I putting on the bottom here? I kind of want all the lands, the Scuttlemutt, the Vivian. I guess I could pitch the shock, since I have the Ember Hauler. Could also pitch the Scuttlemutt and just hope to draw a green source. This is our blue mana as well, though. I think I'm going to pitch Scuttlemutt here. Just keep my early interaction. This is pretty bad against a Lavakin Brawler, but it's decent against a Scorch Spitter if they want to go ahead and go for that. Vorse Claw was one of the worst things I could have drawn there. If they attack here, do I block? They've shown us Growth Cycle. Yeah, opponent is all in on these brawlers. Okay, drawing another Forest was quite nice. So I'm probably going to shock, actual shock on end step to kill something, and then start using Vivian next turn. Let's go ahead and pop Spitter. And then I guess I play Vivian, and then do I minus to kill this? Or do I probably just make my Ember Hauler bigger, right? Although if they untap, go Chandra's Outrage or something, that's pretty bad. I think I wait a turn so I can actually use this ability here. Could also just go fight here. Kill that thing off. Not 100% sure here. Because if I just use Vivian, Chandra's Outrage, that's so bad because I'm not playing anything next turn. It's a little bit tough. I should probably use my mana though, so I'm going to play Vivian. And I think I'm actually going to minus and just try to kill this healer. That way if they play a Lavakin Brawler, it's a lot smaller. I should have attacked there. I don't know why I didn't. Scared of haste creatures. That's my excuse. Oh, Scamper and Scorcher. So they're going to kill Vivian here. Opponent's got the same deck I do. Well, I suppose I will block the one that's coming at me. We need to draw some action. We're going to lose to the other elemental deck, aren't we? Vorse Claw is just going to sit here and block. There's your Brawler. Alright, Vorse Claw it is. We need like our Chandra or something. Scorch Spitter, sure. Greenwood Sentinel, you're not an elemental. So this thing attacks as a 6/4 right now. I mean, everything that adds to Overcome is nice, I suppose. Just gonna pass though. Opponent down to 1 card. Still not coming in with the Brawler. Alright, we've got a Brawler of our own. So we're getting pretty close to Overcome here, I think. We've also got the Goblin Smuggler. Maybe I should just make this Ember Hauler unblockable and get in a little bit of damage while I can. Maybe this 2 damage matters. Maybe I should have done that last turn, but then if they killed Vorse Claw, I'd be completely defenseless. Healer of the Glade, sure. Gain a little bit of life back, and I assume their Brawler's going to attack now. We'll do some combat math on our turn. Yeah, I'm just going to take this hit. This actually lets me attack them back pretty nicely. I could have used a spell there. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 plus 7 is 15 damage. I have 15 on board. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then this adds 8, so that's 23. It's not even lethal. If I attack with Vorse Claw, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess, what happens if I make Lavakin Brawler unblockable and attack with Vorse Claw? They probably chump this. And then they take 2, 3, 4. Then I could even use the Ember Hauler to block and kill a creature. Although sacking the Ember Hauler is less damage on board. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can't even kill this Vorse Claw. They might chump it though. And they might let it happen. Yeah, chumping with the non-elemental makes sense. Well, this is definitely a game that's going to have to be decided by Overcome. Be nice if they did not add anything crazy to the board here. Brawlers attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. Do I want to sack and deal 2 damage to them? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Just take 7 here? No. Let's go ahead and block. And I will kill Scorch Spitter here. Hoping their last card is not Feral Invocation. Off the top. Sure, whatever. Alright, ooh, Scamper, huh? Scamper makes our Overrun a lot better. Actually makes our Lavakin Brawler really good too. So I think this is a pretty easy turn of just making this Lavakin Brawler unblockable and getting in there. And we'll ship the turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chump block the... Oh, opponent getting in there. What does that mean? Well, I think Vorskal blocks here, this blocks here, and we don't block the rest. Take 1, 2, 3. Growth cycle. Alright, let's go overcome an attack. I don't think there's a fog in this format. Sure. Also, I think they were just dead anyway. On the draw this time. Opponent's really all in, right? I think I should take Overcome out on the draw. It's just such a bad card when you're trying to stabilize. Fire Elemental. I kind of want things that can trade off for the stupid the Lavakin Brawlers. But we don't have a lot of that. Maybe Diamond Knight? That's just such a bad card on the draw, though. Bring in a healer. Frostlings looks good here, but I don't think I can get away with that. Alright, game 3 coming up. Alright, game 3. This is kind of the hand that I'm dreading here. We do have the Woodland Champion into the Mask, which makes a 3/3 on turn 3. And then we have the Scorcher as well. I think I'm going to keep this on the draw. On the play, I would not. No healer. Okay, we do want to just rattle off lands. We would prefer for them to be forests, but beggars can't be choosers. If I can get this with as a 5/5 and trade it off for something, trade my 2/2 for my opponent's like 4/4, I'm cool with that. Time to wake up. Chandra's Outrage, decent as well. Let's go Champion and pass. I think my opponent drew this healer for turn. Nope. I wouldn't block that anyway. Scorch Spitter on deck. Ooh, Leafkin Druid. Do we want to play that instead? Probably just want to play this, right? I could make a 3/3 here. My opponent probably has Growth Cycle. I'm going to play the Mana Dork and just take my lumps for a little bit here. Especially since I missed a land drop. No blocks. So we can Chandra's Outrage if we really need to. We have the Scamper now too. That's pretty strong. Probably just play the Scamper. Get my Woodland Champion up there. This also lets my Leafkin Dryad tap for 2 next turn. And I do want to threaten a block on this thing, so I'm going to keep 1 elemental back here. And I don't mind losing an elemental if my opponent goes Feral Invocation next turn. But this is a lot of damage against them, and I've got another Scamper next turn. Plus, my hand's just really good having drawn the mana, so feeling pretty good about this. Alright, they're going to outrage my damage, so that's something, right? But they're probably just attacking with healer now. Mask of Immolation also just straight up kills this thing. So let's see here. I can actually tap and play Vivian. Could start plussing, or I could just minus to kill a Scamp. Could play Lavakin Brawler. Actually, I can play Lavakin Brawler plus Mask of Immolation and just kill Scorch Spitter here. That seems pretty good. So let's go double green, 1, 2. Play Brawler, and then I'll play Mask of Immolation. And I'm going to go ahead and jam with all of these. Ooh, I like that. I like the actual straight up trade-off. If my opponent gets too low, the Mask of Immolation is a good way to just kind of wrap up the game. Okay, we're probably going to Chandra's Outrage that. Actually, I can attack with my Brawler for 1 billion and then Vivian it. So, that's a thing. Yeah, so this is going to get +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they can't block it. And then we're going to play Vivian and go ahead and kill their Brawler. Opponent might jump with their healer. They choose not to. And this should just about wrap things up, especially with the Outrage in hand and the haste creature. We'll go ahead and minus. Kill your Brawler. Excuse me, pass turn. So opponent got a little mana screwed here, but I think we're going to take on Sedge Scorpion. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use the Mask of Immolation, and if they want to go ahead and respond with a pump spell, then I can Chandra's Outrage. I'm pretty sure I can just attack in anyway here. Oh no, I need to click the creature. Alright, go and use your pump spell. We know you've got one because of that attack early on. Fine by me. Using Chandra's Outrage on a Sedge Scorpion. Okay. Alright, we lost to Feral Invocation, so that's just a little data point to keep in our mind, is not to run into that card. And then we managed to scrape it back together for the win. Our deck played out pretty smoothly. Very heavy on 4-drops, though. So, not sure that we should be changing anything around, but we are going to have some games where we get a glut of 4-drops and 3 lands, and we just end up losing because of it. But we take our first win, and we'll go ahead and run it back for match 2. Alright, match 2 is up. I think this is an easy mulligan. 2 mana, 1/1. We've got a bunch of green cards and no green mana. Okay. Well, I mean, this is a little bit better. It does have a Vivian. I'm going to probably throw back the Smuggler, just because we're probably not attacking with that anytime soon. And hope to draw red mana. That would actually make this hand pretty decent with the Druid and the Scamper. More green mana is not the worst. Just play the 2/2 here. Could play Vivian on turn 3 and start plussing, but that's whatever. I didn't really consider the -5 when I was deck building. Alright, 3/3 is nice. No, that's all I can do is play this thing. So we would really like a Mountain off the top. Opponent played a 2 mana 3/3. You can remove a counter to give it hexproof. Okay, opponent has played nothing but good cards so far. Red mana for the Scamper would be really nice. Or a double red card, because haha. So probably play Vivian and just shoot down Cloudkin Seer. Could also go plus, put 2 counters on this. That's pretty all in, hoping my opponent doesn't have any way to interact with this Woodland Champion. Unfortunately, Vivian can't actually kill any of their creatures. Yeah, this draw did not come together. We really needed a Mountain. These being our 2 draws was just horrendous. I'm going to go ahead and just kill Cloudkin Seer. Vivian dies, she dies. I'm not going to chump with this champion. It's still really good if we play the Scamper. Oh, we got Teamer as well. Well, that's annoying. So now my opponent actually gets hit me for 5. And I'm just going to concede if I draw like a blank here. My opponent's got 5 cards in hand, 4 different colors of mana. I'm at 12 with nothing on board. We did draw land, so we're not quite conceding yet. Can't play Vorst Claw, but I can play my own Scamper. So I could hit them back for 4, 5, 6, 7. And then block a 1/1, take 3, 4, 5. I think I'll do that. Can play Vorst Claw next turn. We'll see how good it is. Reduce the Ash. Sure. That's good. But here we can go ahead and trade a bunch of things off, and hopefully Vorst Claw stabilizes. It's good against a lot of the red and green removal. It's bad against the blue removal. Drew that as well. So we're just going to go ahead and slam with the Vorst. Attacking with the 1/1. No fear. Opponent unsummons Vorse Claw. Or Frostlynx's Scorch Spitter, huh? Oh, they're just baiting me. So 3/4 this turn. Thankfully that didn't kill Vorse Claw. Alright, you're up, opponent. Two cards left in hand from opponents. Another Scorch Spitter. Jeez, people are really playing these cards a lot, right? You got to be all in on the synergies for that. I mean, card is not good. Let's see. So, I think we're going to go block, 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 kill this thing. Could also block like this, but then I'm dead to that Scorch Spitter. Oh, actually, I guess I can eat this, and then I can pop this Scorch Spitter. I gotta do it before they attack with that, though. I think I can untap, though. Overcome. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, no cards in hand, opponent. No cards in hand. You have one card. Just let it happen. Uh-oh. Yes! Overcome off the top. That was sweet. Okay, well, I didn't deserve that win, but there you go. Again, healers they just match up so well against our opponent playing their own dorky Scorch Spitters. Overcome on the draw can come out. That was just a luck shot that the overcome was lethal there. And yeah, we'll run it back for game 2. Alright, back for game 3, or rather game 2. Another awkward hand, given the double red. I do think I keep this, though. The Lavakin Brawlers seem like they match up well against our opponent. We got some Scorchy Spitters coming up. Play Mountain. In case I do draw a Mountain, I can play an Ember Hauler here. Ooh, Creeping Trailblazer, not what I wanted to see. My opponent's going all in here. Draw a Mountain, please. Yes. Very good. This will just trade off with anything that wants to go ahead and attack, assuming my opponent doesn't just kill it. Frostlynx would be bad. Okay, Shock, sure. I do think I'm just going to die. I'm taking 5, and then I'm not playing anything next turn. Yeah, Scuttlemutt. Probably trading Scuttlemutt off if they give me the chance. Ooh, and a Spectral Sailor? Gross. This gets +1/+1 for each other elemental, so I can't block that. But I will trade for your 1-drop. And then I'll play a Lavakin Brawler. Scamper, not as good. Let's go and play Brawler here and pass. And they're going to draw a card. Well, if I can drop Vivian and kill this Sailor, that's good, but we'll see what else they play. Jeez, come on. Ooh. Leafkin Druid. I think I actually have to play my Scorcher, right? To not die here. Could play another Brawler and risk it, but that doesn't seem right. No trample. Kind of want to kill this, but I can't afford to do that. I could play Vivian and just, like, kill this. Then they have 3 damage on board. I would die to a Scorcher. I think I'm just going to play a Stabilizing card here and hope to untap next turn. Block like this. They could pump the Trailblazer if they have nothing, but I think they'd rather draw a card with the Sailor, I'm assuming. Oh, okay. Oh, right, they have 2 elementals. Okay, well, I just die then. Alright, well, wasn't expecting that. I think our deck's just still well positioned against them. We just had... I mean, we have a bunch of 4-drops. Also, where's this Chandra? Why are we not drawing that? That's so good against them. I'm just going to run it back as it is. Alright, game 3. I think we have to mull this. It's just too top-heavy. Ugh. I'm going to keep this and put a Brawler on the bottom. Actually, the Scamper probably stabilizes less than the Brawler. It's good with Chandra, but we're going to be playing from behind given this hand. Let's go and lead off with Mountains in case we draw Ember Hollower. Or Ember Hauler, not Hollower. Scuttlemutt's a nice draw. It does give us our 4th land drop, although it does die to shock and doesn't block super well. Barkhide Troll, sure. It's a little awkward. They played something that does not die to Chandra here. It looks like most of their deck does. But we'll go and play a Brawler, I think. Blue into Seer. Yeah, they just have the sickness. So I can play Chandra and kill this. I'd rather just play Brawler here, I think. And attack for 2. Okay, I like them actually trading off for Scuttlemutt. I don't need that anymore. And they've already drawn a card off this, so it's a 2-for-1 in their favor, but that's fine. No, I'm not gonna run into Feral Invocation here. If they have a pump spell, I'm in trouble because I can't actually kill that Brawler. Feral Invocation on this would not kill the Brawler. So I think I'm supposed to attack because I'm not blocking. I mean, it could be Growth Cycle or something too, but so be it. Oh, Convolute, really? Okay. Well, with my opponent having this sort of draw, I'm just never getting through them. They have a good aggressive 2-drop that I can't block. Interesting. They should just be getting damage in. They're far enough ahead. That's just... They should be attacking me. They're at 20. They are missing red mana, notably. So I could play Chandra and plus... Make my Lavakin Brawler a 4/5/6/4, and then it doesn't just straight up die to one. It trades for one of the removal spells. I could also shock this healer, which seems bad. I'm gonna play Chandra. I'm gonna plus an attack with the Brawler. Chandra might attack on the or die on the swing back. This kind of gets around whatever combat trick they were using. I do need my top deck to be, like, godly here. Sure, Sailor. Annoying. Would have loved to shock that. Yeah, unfortunately my draw didn't match up well for theirs. They've got a lot of things I can shock with this, but they played a stupid 3/3, so. I'll block here if they want to use a trick to kill my Leafkin Druid, so be it. Oh, really? Okay. I mean, that's a problem. Alright. I've seen enough of this game. We know where that's going. Yeah, our draw matched up very poorly against our opponent's draw. The 3/3 on turn 2 was just actually nuts. Most 2-drops our opponents are going to play are going to die to Chandra there, but they played one of the ones that doesn't, and one of the ones we can't block very well either, so our hand was just looking pretty bad. We needed Vivian or Force Claw or something in that game, and then even then they had the Spectral Sailor to kind of stabilize, but at any rate, that's going to put us at 1-1, so we can only take one more loss, but I think our deck is good. Just needs to not flood out as it has been, and we need, you know, decent matchups here. So let's go ahead and run into match 3. Alright, match 3's up. Again, another hand that would look pretty good on the play, but we're on the draw, so we're going to be playing from behind quite a bit. Hello to you. Ooh, a white deck, huh? Oh no, an aggressive white deck, huh? Let's go and get the Rugged Highlands down again in case we draw Ember Huller. So I assume they're going to play a 2-drop, and then we're just going to die here. Oh no, no creature on turn 2 is actually quite nice. Means we're not taking damage right out the gates. Another Loyal Pegasus. So that's 4 in the air turn. That's a lot of damage. Let's go and get Scuttlebutt down. Opponent missed a land drop, so hopefully they don't have something else to follow up with. We can just play Vivien and shoot down one of these Pegasuses. But if they have another creature, that plan doesn't go as well. They could also have pump spells or something to save it. Nope, they drew their 3rd land, and they drew more action. Scamper. We're just going to die to these Pegasuses now. That's so embarrassing. Just play Thicket Crasher. Yeah, this would have been a great hand on the play, but alas. Could plus put 2 counters on Scuttlemutt. Could just play Thicket Crasher, but then they're definitely jamming with this. Scamper looks pretty bad here. Just use Vivien as a removal spell to kill a Loyal Pegasus. Doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world. That, and they kind of have to attack this, right? They also have to attack with the Steadfast Sentry in order to attack with the Pegasus. So I might be able to trade Scuttlemutt here for this thing. And we know our opponent has 5 spells in hand. So not great, but we're going to use Vivien as an expensive removal spell here and gain a little bit of life as well. That cannot attack alone. I am going to block here. This will make a 3/2 Pegasus. And then they would need another creature to be able to attack with it. They probably have some. They're playing this aggressive green-white deck, right? Diamond Knight. Alright, well if I can get them to keep throwing creatures into mine just to be able to attack with the Pegasus, that seems fine. I'm going to go Brawler here. It's the best chance that I have of blocking this thing while also being able to attack next turn. They named white for the Diamond Knight. They have a Pacifism in hand. Gross. We're going to take 5. Growth Cycle. That's not bad. So I can go Crasher and hope they don't have another Pacifism, or I can play the Scamper Scorcher, attack with 2 of them, leave 1 on defense for the Growth Cycle. I'll play the Crasher. If my opponent's on all Pacifisms, then whatever, right? They still haven't drawn a 4th land, so they're probably sitting on, 3 spells. Or 3 spells. 5 spells. Although if they cast a white spell pre-combat attack, I could get it with the Growth Cycle. Just taking our Pegasus beats. Where are our Shocks and our Chandras now? Where's our Chandra's Outrage? We have a ton of removal spells that just kill these things. Alright, so I assume they're going to attack with both. I'm going to go ahead and trade Growth Cycle for the Diamond Knight and take 3 more in the air. Just give me a shock for this flyer. No, come on, deck. And I'm just going to pass here. I'm just going to die to stupid Loyal Pegasus. If they attack with Inquisitor, it's 3 mana to give it first strike. Okay, sure. Opponent's still just tossing creatures in there. Chandra. Another Scamper. Alright. They only need, like, 1 more creature here. We have a main deck Plummet, too, don't we? I'm pretty sure we do. I'm going to put everything in front in case they have a pump spell. Oh, okay, we're just dead. Wow, 0 removal spells out in our cards, and we just die to a flyer. Feels bad because our opponent was mana screwed, and I feel like we drew well, and we just couldn't get there against the aggressive creatures. Airstrike. We only saw the Loyal Pegasus. We have removal. Like, I don't think I should be bringing in more, specific removal. The Anvil Rot Raptor seems okay, but we are playing against somebody with things like Inspire Charge and probably Pump Spells, so maybe not. Overcome, Yeah, let's just not bring in the Raptor and hope they don't go Pegasus, Pegasus, creature, 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 creature. Alright, we have some 2-drops, and that's about it. I think this is okay to keep. Opponent's going to go ahead and take their mulligan. So we really only have Woodland Champion right now. We need specifically a red source to draw an Ember Hollower, but even if we draw a Forest or something, we can cast a 3-drop, and clearly we would like to just draw like Mountain Forest or something like that, because then our hand becomes pretty good. Again, the champion into the Scamper Scorcher or whatever it's called is decent. Start off with a mountain here. Although I'd still play the champion on 2. Alright, we did draw a mountain. So I'm going to play champion on 2 because I would like to be able to play this and hold up the activation. We're probably playing Smuggler on 3, but let's see what our opponent's got. 2-drop. Ooh, Gift of Paradise. Should I just play that, or should I go like Ember Hollower, kill your guy? Play Smuggler. I think I'm going to go Gift because that does set me up for my other plays next turn. And I'm just going to pass here. I think my champion has a little bit more value, knowing that I've got a way to grow it. Can never block here. Diamond Knight, sure. Not too worried about that one right now. Named white again. Let's go Scamper. Scamper and Scorcher. Is that right? Yeah. Let's start attacking here. Attack for 7. Yeah, I'm just going to try and race them here. I've got good cards to race. So I'm going to get in there. If they have to use their next turn to like pacify champion, that's not the worst thing in the world. Griffin Sentinel. Okay, well that's definitely not going to cut it. Taking 4. And let's see what our draw is first. Forest, good. So I can go Smuggler plus use Growth Cycle on whatever gets blocked here. Basically throwing away a 1/1, but going to use the Growth Cycle to get past the Diamond Knight. I don't think there's a single green mana spell here. And our opponent's going to take 6 and lose their Diamond Knight. Plus we have 2 more removal spells, which could also go to the face. We can deal 2 with this, plus get a blocker out of the way. I mean, we kept a risky hand, but we got paid off for that one. Netcaster Spider's pretty good. What does my attack look like here? Could play... Oh, no, I didn't want to... Okay, well, I guess I'm playing that. Could attack with the champion, and then... I could also just do this pre-combat and attack here. Could make a 1/1 unblockable and play Netcaster Spider. That's probably fine now that I messed that up a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to just attack with the 1/1. I did not mean to play the Ember Hollower for what it's worth. Maybe that would have been what I did anyway, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Might have even been better to hold the Ember Hollower to blow this up on end step. Another Griffin Sentinel. It's fine. 1 card in hand. Sure. Play that. Let's go and make Ember Hauler unblockable. Ember Hauler. I don't know why I want to keep calling it that. Get in there for just 2, I suppose. And we actually have our opponent dead here between the Hauler and the Chandra's Outrage, but I'll wait till their end step to do that. Maybe if I cast Chandra's Outrage on something, I can see like one more card I didn't know about. They might use like some sort of pump spell. Or they just concede. That's fine too. They're actually just dead with the Ember Hauler next turn if they don't have anything. I make it unblockable, attack for 2, and then sack it. Bird Grabber seems pretty bad. They've got 1/3s and Loyal Pegasus, so the Reckless Airstrikes are okay here. I think I'm going to do fine against creatures on the ground. Stormkin can probably come out. Doesn't seem like it matches up well here. It's not going to be able to attack through the 1/3s, and it just trades for the Pegases. The Reckless Airstrikes are a little on the weaker side, but I think they're going to be fine. They give us interaction against the things that we're going to have most trouble interacting with. And then, I mean, Vorse Claw just seems pretty bad. I guess Overcome on the draw again. We'll try this out. See you all in Game 3. Alright, here for Game 3, I'm going to mull this. It just doesn't interact. This seems a lot better, and I'm going to ditch Vorse Claw to the bottom, I think. Maybe Growth Cycle, actually. Yeah. I mean, Vorse Claw is a big chunker, right? Let's go ahead and play Highlands and pass. And we'll shock the first thing that we can shock. Hopefully no Griffin Sentinel. I guess that's a 3-drop, so not too worried about that one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just shock this bad boy. We do need to draw some other action, though, that's not just this jank. Guess we'll give them an opportunity, let them hit us for 2, and then see if they give us a better shock target. They could, like, go for some pump spell here, and I think 2 damage isn't going to make a huge difference. So, we'll take the hit. Diamond Knight. Do I want to shock that instead? It could potentially just get bigger than this Moorland Inquisitor. Yeah, I think I'm going to shock Diamond Knight here. Alright, well that would have been a great time to draw something to play. Unfortunately, all of our draws have been lands. But we're going to play Thicket Crasher. It's probably going to have to trade off for something. And we're not looking great here because our opponent's going to keep casting creatures and we're going to be put in a position where we have to block. Netcaster Spider is good though, but I'm still going to play Thicket Crasher this turn. Use my mana up as best as possible. You know, the old adage. Opponent missed a land drop, so on all spells again. They could be like a 16 land deck or something like that. Never mind, they did not miss a land drop. Inspire and Captain? Oh no, holding up green-white, huh? Eternal Isolation. Well, you got it, you got it. Take some more hits. Keeping up green-white, huh? Risen Reef that I can't play. Again, not an ideal hand here. I would not like to lose to this this deck my opponent is playing, but I might not have a choice. Yep, and they have the pacifism. Look, okay, if my opponent has the answer to everything I play, then there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to play a Vorse Claw here. Dang, the Pegasus. Brawler's just not going to cut it. Go ahead, opponent. I still have draws here, like Vivian removal spell for Loyal Pegasus isn't even that bad. We brought those airstrikes in. Jesus. Well, I mean, that would have been good. Play a Brawler. Yeah, I don't think we're getting out of this one. We're just going to 1-for-1 their creatures and die anyway. They could also just have a pump spell to save this Pegasus here. Alright, you're up, opponent. So I'm taking 3 minimum. Could just die to an Inspired Charge next turn. I don't think I'm going to win this game. Which sucks, because I think our deck is good, but we're just getting aggroed out. And a Dawning Angel. That about seals it. I don't have a way to sweep all these creatures, and sure. Alright, Well, we're going to go out 1 and 2. That's been my experience with this format so far, is 1 and 2s. Our deck's really good. It's, I don't know, drew the wrong part against different decks and stuff like that. Maybe a little weak to flyers, but did you guys see the plummet at all in any of our hands? I definitely didn't. I thought our deck was sweet, but we're going to take our L here, and we're going to have to be content with it. And that's going to wrap up the video. Sorry I can't give you more games here, but my deck didn't like me very much. Maybe needed some card draw or something like that, but it's a shame. We got to do some cool things in a couple of those games, even though we didn't get to play too many games. But that's going to go and wrap it up for this video. We're going to take the measly 1-2 here and try again later on down the road. So I appreciate you watching. You're more than welcome to leave a comment if you saw anything I didn't, or if you would have drafted a little bit differently. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content, and find us on Twitter at MTG_ManaRocks. Thank you all for watching. My name's Timothy here. See you next time.